Are you curious to know what your Instagram profile actually says about your personal brand? I've been getting so many requests to actually do a brand analysis on your website and your Instagram profiles. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Stay tuned to the very end because I'm going to give you hot tips on how to optimize your Instagram account so you look awesome. What's up, bosses? I'm Talyn Rahman-Figueroa, your personal brand expert at Boss Diplomat, making you look so good you can't be ignored. My job is to help you look awesome, be awesome, feel awesome, so that you are attracting the best customers, people who are willing to pay that top dollar for your expertise, for your services, and for your product. Hey, whatever floats your boat, whatever you're selling, whatever your gifts are, let's use that to your advantage. And the only way we can do that is through you. So today, let's take a look at a real life Instagram account. This individual has asked me to take a look at his Instagram profile because he's curious to know what an expert thinks of his profile. Now, this individual does not own a business. He does actually work for another company. So I'm curious to see what his vibes are, what his flavors are, how he presents himself, and to people who really don't know him, what kind of impression is his Instagram profile actually leaving? What is the lasting impression of the things that he's sharing online? Is there any way that he can improve his personal brand just by changing and tweaking a few elements on his online profile? Let's take a look. Okay, so today I'm reviewing Jonathan.Mullins.1 on Instagram. In order for me to look at his profile, I had to ask him to not make his profile private. If you do have a private profile, that means you are using it mainly for your friends and family and not for public consumption. So the first question I will ask Jonathan is, why are you on Instagram? And what is the reason why you are using Instagram? Is this just to have an account of all of the cool stuff that you're doing, or keeping friends and family up to date on all of the cool stuff that you're doing? You know, I would love to know how you're using Instagram. Okay, so just looking at the general profile here. So great, you have an image of yourself, but it does look like a selfie. You are not looking directly at the camera. It is so important that you make eye contact with the people that are viewing you, because that shows respect, that shows confidence, and it shows that you're not hiding anything, because by looking down, you're looking a little bit unsure of yourself. And I know you're not the guy who's unsure of himself. Looking at your post count, so it seems like you don't post often because there's only 25, so that's quite low. Your account was private, so I understand why your followers is quite low, but you are following a lot of people. I'm going to check that out. Who are you following? Okay, you're following me, thank you. Solopreneurs Club. Okay, there's quite a lot of businesses that you're following. That's interesting. Doesn't seem to be a lot of individuals, mainly business. So it makes me think, how comes your account is not made public? And if you're following so many businesses, is your intention to connect with other business owners? Are you a business owner yourself? My main question is why you are on Instagram if the kind of people that you're following are business owners. Looking at your profile, Jonathan Mullins, EA is right next to your name. My next question would be, what does EA stand for? Is this an academic credential? I don't think it is. Does it stand, is it an acronym? Is it a business acronym? Is it executive assistant? Is it engineer, architect? Is it, what does EA stand for? If I was to do a EA acronym search, executive assistant comes up, and then economic analysis, and last in fiber, obviously that's not you. Engineering analysis, emergency assistance. Okay, as you can see, EA can stand for anything. You need to be really clear on what that is, because you're now opening yourself up to a lot of questions, because even I can't answer what EA is. Okay, you are in ATL. So I'm assuming that's your location. Look, I'm not American, so I don't know what ATL stands for. Atlanta. Okay. See, I have to Google these things, you know? Don't ever assume your audience know what you're talking about. Acronyms is a no-go. Try to avoid acronyms as much as possible because it just leaves more questions. And I'm even questioning what all of these acronyms mean, and I have to Google you. You want to make it as easy and as brainless as possible when people are looking up your profile. So you're based in Atlanta. Awesome. Just say Atlanta instead of ATL. This is not an airport, okay? The next profile paragraph says travel, tax, guru, and then there's all these other little like acronyms again: CO, MX, PA, CR, BS, JM. So my assumption is these are countries, and my assumption is these little JMBS acronym is not an acronym. Actually, it's actually the code for the flag, but as you can see, it is not showing up on your profile, so that needs to be fixed. Clearly you're a travel junkie, you love to travel. There's some mention about tax, and then there's a little smiley face with the dollar sign emoji with the face on it, and right next to that says guru. So you're a tax guru, but because you have emojis in between each of the description, I don't know what your focus is right now. I don't know what you're trying to say here because it's too disjointed. Next line, it says CEO with a sunglass emoji. CEO at JLM Tax and Accounting Solutions LLC. Okay, so now we know that Jonathan is a business owner. He's a CEO of an accounting service company, but your profile is private. So are you using your Instagram profile to build relationships with new clients maybe, or what? You know, that's the biggest question I have right now for you. So there's a lot of different interests that you're sharing with us on Instagram. The best advice that I can give you in optimizing your Instagram account, once we know why you are on Instagram and how you're using Instagram, we want to show off who you are. So are you representing the travel Jonathan? Are you representing tax guru Jonathan? Are you representing God-loving, God-fearing Jonathan? Are you representing Atlanta Jonathan? You know, there's so many different sides of you. You need to pick what part of yourself you are sharing on Instagram in order to build your personal brand and your credibility online. There's one more line in the profile for Jonathan's Instagram account, and on the very bottom it says achieving greatness, capital letters, in God's eyes. Clearly this is a very personal account, but the fact that you mentioned where you work and the kind of people that you're following, it's giving me mixed vibes. I don't know if you're using this personally to acquire new clients, because then you're talking about very personal things to you, you know, your relationship with God. So yeah, it's very mixed. Now, taking a look at your story highlights. So at the moment you have a lot of story highlights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different story highlights. And what are the titles of your story highlights? We have Colombia co-trip, MX, so Mexico. So you have Colombia, Playa del Carmen, so that's in Mexico. You have a year in review in your story highlights, life lessons, reality checks, 3 faces of truth, okay, 1% mindset. Interesting. So yeah, it very much shows off the fact that you love traveling. Your year in review, I'd be very curious to actually look at this. But your year in review doesn't even look like it's your year in review. This is somebody else's year in review. So that's not good. This is not your story highlight. And there's only one video for that year in review. Okay, life lessons. In the life lessons reel, again, this is not your life lessons. This is somebody else's reel that you have repurposed. And there's only one video. The whole reason why you have these story highlights is basically creating a portfolio of all of the different reels that you have shared over the lifetime of your Instagram portfolio, and then archiving it. This is a mini story of your niche for that specific bucket in that story highlight. And at the moment, I'm not seeing any of these belong to you except for the travel aspect. of your Instagram reels. I'm gonna click on the 1% mindset. Again, this is not your video. This is somebody else's video and you're just repurposing it. Clearly, these are things that are important to you, but it's always better that this comes out of your own mouth, or this is your own content. It is absolutely fine to have somebody else's reel in your story highlight, but there needs to be more than just somebody else's work that you're showing off. Talk about it. This is a great opportunity for you to speak your truth now. Okay, so let's move down on his actual posts. You only have 25 posts, so there's not going to be too much for me to review, but I'm going to scroll down and see what you're posting just at a glance before I take a look at your individual post. So here's my man, Jonathan Mullins. Okay, so you look like a really cool, friendly guy. A lot of positive energy, a lot of positive vibes, some swagger, nice. Quite a lot of selfies. I'm curious to know what you are actually writing in your captions based on these Instagram posts. There's quite a lot of snapshots of you and your buddies on holiday. Okay, so holiday snaps are a favorite. So Jonathan likes to take selfies on holidays with his pals and show off all of the cool places that he's been to and make us very jealous. So I'm going to click on one of them. So on average, you have about 40 likes. That is really good. You have a good amount of engagement on your profile. And now, assuming your friends and family are following you, this is probably why, but that's great. You have some engagement. I clicked on the very first post of Jonathan's picture. The caption says, "Just a chill Sunday of gratitude." And there's just a selfie of Jonathan. The engagement's quite good. One of the comments says, "My man, living life and investing in you first. Can't get no better than that." So clearly people appreciate you. There's a lot of love for you, and that's really great to see. The pictures that you have, they're quite honest. They're honest. It is of you. You seem to have a hard time looking at the camera. It seems, I feel like your eyes are always on the side of the camera, so I would love to see more eye contact, unless there's a specific reason why you're doing that, which is also fine. I'm going to click onto the second one. Second post says, "Atlanta Jazz Festival was a vibe," and there's an image of Jonathan, very pretty lake scenery, peace sign. Okay, someone has commented the big dog. Nice. Oh, and there's it's a carousel. It's a carousel image. Okay, so clearly Jonathan is sharing the Atlantic Jazz Festival with his followers. And this was posted in May 2023. So it's very clear that you don't keep up with your Instagram. The very, very last post was posted on October 8th, 2023. So you're not keeping up with it. Okay, that's interesting. There are some quotes as well. So the third post says, "Positive energy activates constant elevation," and on the side spells out peace. So these are clearly values that Jonathan has and shares. A lot of pictures with his homies. Okay, there's a picture of him with a very cool looking dude with sunglasses, and the caption says, "About last night, the 40th birthday celebration. Thank everybody who came out to celebrate with me. I had an amazing night. Definitely was a vibe." Aw, happy very late birthday 2 years ago. But that's great. Again, lots of engagement. So clearly Jonathan has a really great following. So in general, you give off a very warm vibe. I like how you are present in your Instagram. I like how you are not invisible. You like showing yourself off on Instagram. But again, my question would be, why are you using Instagram? If it's just for a personal archive of all of the cool things that you get up to, that's great. That's completely valid. But I'm sure you've done a lot of cool stuff since October 2023. Definitely would love to see more of an update. So there you have it, my very first peek into Jonathan Mullins' Instagram account. As you can see, there's a lot of potential for Jonathan to really up his game in his personal brand. He is in front of his brand. He's showing himself off. He's showing off his life experiences, a lot of his values. He likes taking selfies with people that he really cares about. It is a private account, so there is a little bit of a wall to what he's sharing with who, but I do appreciate the fact that he's on there. There is a lot of engagement in his profile. But my question would be, Jonathan, why are you using Instagram? If it is for business, then we definitely need to change it up. We want to show off one part of you, and it shouldn't always be about going on holiday and hanging out with friends, unless it is a personal account. And if that is, absolutely fine. But if this is eventually going to become a business account where you're showing off the tax side to Jonathan Mullins, then we definitely need a strategy in how you post, when you post, specifically what you post, and then how you write about each of those posts. If you're interested for me to review your Instagram account and your profile, message me at Fairy BOSSmother at bossdiplomat.com. I would love to review your Instagram profile. If you want a more in-depth review of your personal brand in your business, hey, book a free mini brand session with me. The link is here somewhere in my profile. I would love to see you in my calendar. See you next time.